What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the two-gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Whew, I pointed up a little higher than usual. Hope future Big Johnny G can fix that. Okay, so we are here. It is still October, my friends, the month of Halloween. The Halloween season is still upon us. Oh, it is not over yet. You think it is? It is close. It is not quite done. What I would like to talk to you about today is another one of my list of favorites. Yes, and it is overtaking this Tabletop Takeout Tuesday indeed. So this list of favorites for the Halloween month has to do with my personal 5 favorite
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, beat my favorite
games of horror that cross genre boundaries. Cross genre horror games. Horror is something that can be in and of itself a theme, a genre, but it is also something that can be sprinkled into other genres. And I love it when that happens. It is one of my favorite themes, a mixed theme, where you can get some of the best from both, or more, if it mixes more than one theme successfully with another. And these are a list of the games that are my personal favorite over the years that I have played that mix the theme of horror with other genres to bring something a little bit different, a little bit more than either one by itself can manage. It's a very exciting theme, I think. I think whenever you mix themes, it's very exciting. There's a few times I guess it can be done wrong or badly or just not good enough. I do not think that any of the games that I'm about to discuss are covered by that. No. If I'm covering them, then they're good games. So I spy with my little eye what appears to be a spot on the bench. Maybe not. Might have to go down into the woods. Let me see. All right, my friends, so we will have this discussion about favorite mixed genre horror games. And I'll see you at the bench or in the woods in a few moments. Thanks a lot. All right, so thank you everyone for joining me down here to find out what I have to say about what I think my personal 5 favorite horror games that cross the genre, what they are. So let's just jump right into it and go straight to number 5. Number 5 is a fairly new game. You've seen a few playthroughs of it already, besides the regular showcase of the unboxing, the setup, the how-to play, and that is a game by Jason Glover over at Grey Gnome Games. And this crosses sci-fi with horror, and the game is called Desolate. Now, in this game, you are the sole survivor of a rescue team that has been launched into space, deep space, to an alien moon, where we have lost all contact with the scientists there. As the sole survivor of the crash, you make your way into the alien moon base, only to discover it was overrun with aliens. You are alone, you are isolated, and you need 5 power cells to get your ship out of there. So this is a one-player solo solitary only game. It should take you about 15 to 20 minutes to play, and it's good for ages 10 and up. Some of the things that I really find great about this game is the fact that it is so super fast to learn, to teach, and also to play. It has great replayability because of this. The way the cards are set up, your encounters are always going to be different. But not only that, your starting gear is always going to be different also. The atmosphere to this game is thick with horror and suspense, tension. It's all lying there, and it sits right on your shoulders, and it gets heavier and heavier every single turn. The cards in this game are really cool because they're multi-use cards. They're in most cases double-sided, so when you're going through the decks, you're using the same deck for usually at least two different things. I find that very interesting, and it saves on having a bunch of different decks lying around your table, taking up foot space, table space, leaving a footprint on your table. At its core, you think this game is a simple survival and escape game, and it is, but it's not. Really, at this core, this is a resource management game, because if you want to get through this game, you're going to have a lot of control. You're going to have to really manage not just your oxygen, you are on a moon, but also you're going to have to manage your weapon. You have to manage your ammunition. I have lost this game for both those reasons in the past. Running out of oxygen and not having any way to defend myself. Now, this game has great company support from Jason Glover and his company of Grey Gnome Games. They have 2 mini expansions for this that actually bring you in specific characters to play that have specific starting gear, and the characters are broken down basically for its easy, medium, and difficult mode. There's also a large box expansion for this game that will allow you to take this solo solitary game and make it a 4-player game. Very cool, very interesting. And this game does cover 2 great genres that usually mix very well together, and that's sci-fi and horror. And now, coming in at number 4 from Flying Frog Productions and Jason C. Hill, A Touch of Evil. This is a very interesting mixed horror genre, because what it is mixing with the horror is Colonial America. Think of the Johnny Depp movie Sleepy Hollow, and you have a very good idea of what this is. Although the Headless Horseman is one of the potential enemies, monsters in this game, he is not alone. You do not have to play this game as if it was Sleepy Hollow, but you could. The characters in this game are great. They're diverse in sex as well as race. You don't see as much diversity in so many games as you see in this one. Another aspect I like about this game is the importance that the NPCs, if you're not familiar with that term, that's a role-playing term. It means non-player character. It's a character that is not run by anyone at the table. They're a non-player character. Their background is what they are. And the background characters in this, the town elders, all play important parts. They all have secrets. And it's different each and every game. This game is also fun because it can be played either semi-cooperatively or cooperatively, which again adds to the replayability of this already unique themed game. Now, I did make an allusion before that this is very similar. You will find a similarity between this game and the Johnny Depp movie Sleepy Hollow. But for any of my older viewers out there, in my age category, 50, late 40s, 50s, a little bit above, let me just add this. This game is also going to make you feel like you are in a Hammer horror film. Definitely does. And one thing that helps that is that they don't use artwork. Because what they use in the game is photographs of actors in costume, cosplay. And it adds to that whole feel of an old horror movie. It's perfect for this game. Yes, number 3. Getting closer, inching our way to the top. Number 3 is a game by Osprey Games. This is another science fiction meets horror genre game. This is another fast play game. Escape from the aliens in outer space. Yeah, this game, you are playing a bunch of scientists that are off the planet in an orbiting space station trying to find a cure for a disease that is ravaging the Earth. You are using, of course, alien DNA that you have come into contact with in order to help you find a cure. And again, of course, that alien DNA runs amok and starts mutating your fellow scientists and astronauts into horrible, cannibalistic monsters that want nothing more than to eat you and turn you into one of them. Can you make it to the escape pod in time? This game uses icons, and the iconography on this game and each of the cards is so easy to understand that once you know this, you will probably never have to look at the rule book again. We have another game that is super easy to learn, super easy to teach, and super easy to play right here. And that's another attraction for this game, to get it down to the table. Now, I mentioned the iconography on the cards, but the artwork itself on these cards is fantastic. Talk about sucking you into the atmosphere of the game itself. See, on the space station, the power is out, and you are running around in complete darkness. And the cards are drawn that way. The cards are drawn very dark. They suck you in, literally, into the atmosphere of the game. Now, this game is a hidden traitor, hidden movement game. Something else I like about that. In fact, there is no board to this game at all. Each player is going to have their own spiral notebook that they are going to be able to use dry erasers on in order to mark their way through the maze, which is what it's become in the darkness as you're trying to find an escape pod that still works. The replayability on this game is out the window. It is through the roof. They have so many different levels of the space station that you can play in any one of these levels, and they're going to be different. It's also going to change the difficulty. Some of these levels are extremely difficult to get through. You're going to be bumbling around the dark. Everyone's bumbling around the dark. Even the other infected players don't even know who the other infected players are. It is possible for an infected player to kill another infected player. This game is controlled chaos, and I love it. Number 2, closing in now. Number 2. From Mondo Games and Project Raygun, we have The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31. This is based on the classic John Carpenter horror, one of the greatest, in my opinion, horror films ever made, and it still stands the test of time. This game is good for 4 to 8 players, ages 17 and up. And it's going to be taking you about 60 to 120 minutes to get through. This is another game that is a hidden traitor game. This is not hidden movement, however. You're able to see where everyone is on the map in the base, McMurdo base in Antarctica, as you are trying to figure out who has been infected before you flee. So you don't want to bring this infection to the outside world. The tension in this game runs high and hard. Even more so, I think, for a lot of the hidden traitor games. There's something about this. Maybe it's because of the movie itself that adds in this whole level of excitable tension. It's palpable among the table and the players. You can feel it as you're playing the game. And if you're familiar with the movie, you know exactly how disgusting the alien thing is. Well, this pulls no punches with the miniatures. There are several miniatures to represent the different stages of the thing. And true to the movie, they are quite disgusting. And that adds into the atmosphere of the game, helping to suck you into it. And that is a great deal of fun. Will you be able to make it to the helicopter with only humans or not? This is a great, great game for any time, even if it's not Halloween. And now, the number one game on my list of cross-genre horror board games that you may find perfect for Halloween. This is a game by Flying Frog Production. Now, we've already seen another one of their games on the list earlier, the number 4 spot with A Touch of Evil. But we're back now, the number 1 spot, Shadows of Brimstone. This Cowboy meets Cthulhu style board game is good for 1 to 4 players, more if you have any of the other base core expansion games. And for ages 12 and up, it should take about 120, maybe 150 minutes to get through one session of this game. Yes, Cowboys meet Cthulhu. Well, Cthulhu-ish. It's not completely really taken from the work of H.P. Lovecraft and his contemporaries, but it is most definitely based on it. In a world very familiar, the Old West, the American West, cowboy and Indian time, well, something has changed. Magic, dark, evil, vile, has seeped into the world through these dark stones. Of course, they're valuable, so everyone wants them, regardless of how impossible it can be to get them, because they're guarded by extra-dimensional monstrosities. This board game is one of the best RPG role-playing games out there. That is a board game. As far as RPG board games go, this is one of the best. Character progression in this game is very familiar to an RPG or an MMORPG in the fact that you have different trees that you're going to be able to bring your character up during different adventures. Now, having the ability to have all these extra adventures brings an amazing amount of replayability to the game, on top of the fact that you are continually making your character better with new gear, maybe with some mutations thrown in there as well. Besides the replayability, there's also great amount of support for this game by Flying Frog Production. There are 2 core games for it alone, and a handful, if you have a giant's hand, there's a handful of expansions for this, as well as specific mission packs. They are completely dedicated to growing this sandbox-ish style game. The last thing I want to say about this game, on top of everything else, is the beauty of its modular board. The way the board is cut matches the outline of the mine tunnels that you are going to be going through, and it adds a little visual pep to the game by doing that. But on top of that, the artwork for the mines, the artworks on the cards for the monsters and the creatures is absolutely amazing. No punches are pulled on this art style. It is graphic, it is bright, it is shiny, it is like a nicely waxed floor. I love looking at the modular board, and I think you will too. And that's on top of everything else this game has to offer. So there you go, my personal 5 favorite cross-genre, cross-theme horror games that I think you are going to enjoy for this Halloween month. Let me know what cross-genre games you like. Are there any I missed? There doesn't seem to be a lot of cross-genre board games on the market. If there's anything I missed, put it down in the comment, because I'm definitely going to want to look that game up. Let me know what some of your favorite cross-genre games are, whether they cross into the horror genre or not. Like, I remember one of my favorite Dungeons & Dragons modules back in the early 80s was Expedition of Barrier Peak, and that introduced science fiction mixed in with the fantasy. So it doesn't always have to be horror. I'm just talking about mixed horror, because this is October. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for coming and checking out what we had to say about this, as well as going over and seeing what we're doing over on Facebook. Instagram and Twitter. Very cool when you go over and see what we're dropping over there. So thank you very much. I also want to point out everyone that's been heading over to the Two Gun Pixie Zazzle store. That's right, we have a Zazzle store, print on demand. We have images slapped onto hats and hoodies and jackets and t-shirts and mugs and steins. Whole bunch of stuff. A lot of them are generally nerd related and some of them are very specific RPG fun. So everyone that's been checking that out, thank you very much. Especially, I know there's been a few sales, so thank you so much for that. That is very awesome. But most of all, it all comes down to here. Right here on YouTube, my friends. You subscribe to the channel, you watch the videos, you like them, sometimes you share them. And that's the best. That is the greatest thank you can give me, and as far as I know, that's the best thank you you can pretty much give any content creator, sharing their work, letting other people discover them. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. The Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.